As these streams start, I should be saying we are going live as per usual, and hopefully you've heard those words now. I've gone live. And I know I'm starting a bit early, but I was thinking in the previous stream, I wanted to play some games against some of the tournament's strongest before the tournament starts. So going live is just a bit early, just to see if I can get 1 or 2 games in, just to warm some of these players up, but to warm myself up as a commentator as well. So let's see if some of these players are already online. Muhammad is not online yet. Blackjack Reloaded as well. So we'll go down until we see someone that's online, and we'll challenge them. This is the I wanted to say, this is the Western Province Championship section team battle, and I'm very excited for this section. There's still loads of time before the start, 20 minutes to go. Playing some warm-up blitz games against them. If you are in if you are in the chat, hello yet again to Angela and Corsi, who's always first in the chat. Well done to you. And we are looking for players that are willing to accept challenges yet. So Ethan Sam might be willing to accept a challenge, but so far not too many challenges. I'm going to paste the link here to the stream. I'll also tell the players that if they want a warm-up game, I am available, and I can quickly bring them down to earth so that they can try and level up the game before the tournament starts. That's kind of why I'm here, just to bring some strong players down to earth. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't look like WFP1. I'm not sure who this is accepting challenges yet, or will be accepting that challenge. So we'll challenge Ethan as well, a very strong player, and we'll challenge him to 3+0. I'm not sure if that cancels my previous challenge. Oh, I can make a few challenges and just see who accepts. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that was possible. Never late to my streams. Well done. Going to have a fan base of loyal followers by the end of today, because I've been online for so long, and well, it's tiring. It's at least good to know there are 1 or 2 people that are enjoying it. Ethan Sam, WFP1. Who's not afraid of the ostrich? Doesn't look like. Looks like they're very scared of me at the moment. Shoei's not online. Paradox not online. Accumulator. Yeah, this guy seems kind of my strength. I'm not keen on those other guys accepting my challenges yet. I'm not on their level at the moment. But if I've warmed up, then I should be stronger than the 2000 rating my Lee Chess account is saying. So maybe I could steal some rating points here. In any case, who will be the first to accept the challenge? That's a good question. I think I've played a few games against Mandorza before. We have a few challenges running over here, as you can see. Ethan Sam, Accumulator, WFP1, Mandorza. And in the top 10, will anyone accept my challenge? Ex-Wiechensuch. I've beaten this guy in the past. He might be hurt and not willing to play. Bad memories of playing against me. So obviously I'll cancel the other challenges. Oh, Mandorza's the first. Okay, Mandorza, well done. Thanks for playing a game against me on stream. Willing to lose some rating, knowing that I'm a bit underrated. We have a King's Gambit. 97 is kind of the move I'm opting for nowadays, with a d5. And one of the points is the knight can go to g3, and now, thank you for that pawn you gave me. Bishop e7. Be careful. Be careful. Do something about your king quickly, because bishop h5 is coming, and I'll castle. Now, usually over here I start wondering, okay, is f-takes worth it? Taking away from the center to hold on to this extra pawn. And I think I've come to the conclusion that yes, it is. c5. King's Gambit players don't like it when you simply go for that center immediately. c5 is doing just that. Okay, I might decide to hold on to the pawn, or I can just develop a piece. And keeping a good clock situation going over here. It's still about quarter of an hour till the tournament starts, so if you're tuning in now, you are still right on time, not having missed any action. This pin is now annoying, and you're never getting rid of the bishop. Wait a minute, oh no. I've got this en passant. Okay, I'm liking this position a lot. There's a little... Oh, this is what he wants. Okay. Okay, now I've got a bit of an issue. I don't want to go queen c8 because of the knight trapping the rook. Okay, I'm not sure what to do here. I don't want the knight coming here. I could always pin it. Oh, he can actually. Okay, so Ethan Willenberg, warm up game, please, Shanov. Okay, warm up game, Shanov. You're not in the tournament, I think, but I'll search for you. You asked me earlier as well, so I guess this is good. Just for myself to warm up. I'm apparently pretty warmed up. And Shanov, you're from Zimbabwe. Tell us a bit about yourself over there. I'd like to know who's watching this. Otherwise, it's like this very. You guys can imagine it's a weird experience. People all over watching you, but you don't know anything about them. Your audience. In any case, Shanov, I'm sending you a little challenge over there. You're obviously not too chicken to go pick it up. Just don't use a PC against me. I wouldn't be too impressed. Shanov, I don't know if you're playing in the tournament, but generally I like challenging people that are playing in these tournaments. If you're from Zimbabwe, then obviously you're not part of this Western Province tournament. Western Province, province in South Africa, beautiful province. Well, it's got everything in the province and that can aesthetically please you. If you're someone that likes desert landscapes, it's got the Karoo. And hey man, you're declining my challenge. Okay, send me a challenge if you want to play. In any case, I'm going to continue challenging people. Oh, that is what I wanted to come to. Oh wait, here's your challenge. Sorry, man. You wanted a new game. You wanted me to play with the white pieces. There might be something you've got up your sleeve. Well, after watching all of my streams that you know that I play, d6 is a very strong move. Going for d5 immediately, wanting me to trade off queens. And hey, man, if you're keen for I'm gonna propose a take back. I'm not sure you want to do that. Now you're offline, man. Are you okay? Okay, if you don't want the take back, I'm just gonna kill you. You want to get killed, man. Moving your king and all of this is in one shot for 1900. Something's not right. Oh, I was going to send you a take back, but you seem to be offline or somehow. There's something wrong, I think, with League Chess at the moment. Saying players are online that or offline when they're still online. In any case, the tournament is still 8 minutes away. I hope you guys are as excited for it as I am. Well, Ethan Willenberg is just messaging me over here. And I want to tell you guys about his tournament. I think it's going to take place this Saturday, which is coming. And I'm just waiting at the moment for my opponent to make a move. I think he's decided that he's just being destroyed. And, well, you can go f6, right? And after the trade, even king f7 is just terrible. Can't move the king. That's the main point. Bishop g5. Pins the queen. Okay, Shanov, are you sending a new challenge? You need to finish your first game, right? Oh, this game is rated. And now you're sending a casual game while we are in a game. Hey man, you need to figure out what you want to do. Come in this game and resign, and then Wait a minute, you're sending loads of challenges. Okay, Nukez, I don't know what Shanov is up to, but kind of I need to wait his time out, I think, to claim the game. And before I can accept your challenge, Lichess is going to be funny. So you can wait right there, Nukez. I'm going to nuke Z, probably. Not Nukez, nuke with a Z after it. I'll accept it in a second. There's still a bit of time before the tournament. Unfortunately, Mr. Shanov is not resigning this game, or... You know what, maybe I should be the bigger man, resign and play against Nuke Z, who's got a surprisingly close rating to Mr. Shanov. I don't know if this might be the same guy. Very, very weird situation over here. Lichess made a mistake. Please accept challenge. Hey man, I'd like to accept your challenge, but I'm going to have to resign the game to get to that challenge or something. And I'm not sure what the mistake is Lichess made. It looks like you slipped your king or something, and I was going to give you a take back. But I want to try and play against more players. This just means you're going to have to stick around for more of my streams. For when I go live, you can send me a challenge. In any case, while we're waiting for these 4 seconds to run out, I wanted to make a point. Okay, so Ethan has just sent me a link to a tournament he's hosting, and okay, this game better be quick. We don't have much time before the tournament starts. We'll go for... You know what? You don't need to worry about that. The game will be quick. I'll just move quickly. And we ought to be done before the tournament starts. So I've gone for the Dutch, as per usual. He's on Shetto. They're going for a slower structure. And I want to get the move e5 in before he gets the move e4 in. He got the move e4 in. So this is theoretically very bad for me. Now I need to be careful. If he trades, right, and he takes here, then this pawn is simply hanging. So I can't allow that. There's still 4 minutes to go. Sorry, Shanov. Maybe I can accept one right after the stream again. But then you're going to have to watch the whole stream. That's how I'm going to get viewers. Okay, so he doesn't take the pawn. Now, one of the things you want to do in the Dutch is get this, the f4 move in and hit the structure in White's camp. So, let's go h6, g5, and just start crushing with these pawns. He's allowing my pawns to enter. I don't like the knight going to h5. Okay, so Ethan is hosting quite a big tournament with big prize money. Eitsa is the tournament's name. And you guys are just hearing the notifications from him sending me WhatsApps. I need to mute that. It's a bit unprofessional of myself to let you guys hear all of that. In any case, what to do in this game? Oh, and I'll send the link now to his tournament. I'll mention it a few times. I think it's totally worth it. There aren't so many strong tournaments with a lot of prize money at the moment in the country. Because there's so many online tournaments, it feels like somewhere the money's become depleted. Okay, maybe... this is bad for me. I need to go knight takes to defend the pawn on e5. I wanted to go bishop takes, but with the bishop, even then I might just lose the minor piece if I wanted to go for the pin. Okay, so e5 is just hampering my progress. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to sacrifice this knight on f2 and capture like this. That's not a bad idea. But we'll do something similar with queen b6 in mind. And this should be close to game over. Because of king f1, we've got mate, and of king h1, we've got this ugly check incoming. And we still have some time to spare before the start of the tournament. Maybe we can challenge Mr. Muhammad Bawudian to a little bullet game before before he gets too busy chopping the guys in the tournament. Okay, so the player's going to resign, I guess, or give away a piece. Either one. He's going to either play a knight or a bishop to this square, or he's going to resign. c5 maybe, and then sack one of the pieces. Fortunately for me, the knight sack doesn't win back material because my knight's defended by the bishop. So I've still got the same idea in mind. He needs to figure out what to do. Even a knight going back there doesn't do much. Okay. Nice open file. Still threats of d3 with a lot of the same ideas. Mr. Nuke Seems like I've nuked you. A minute 40 to go. And Cape Town Chess Club A, I must say, Cape Town's Chess Club B, they took the previous tournament not too convincingly. It was like a last 10 minutes they really dominated. Okay, thanks Mr. Nuke. It was a fun game. I don't know where you went wrong. Maybe around about here, but definitely earlier on, allowing this f4, your position becomes pretty awkward. And here, yeah, okay. Maybe e5 wasn't necessary. D5. In any case, let's get to the tournament. A minute to go. Steinitz A. It's a battle this time of 7 teams and 6 leaders. So in the previous tournament, it was only 4 leaders. Oh, Irion is asking me about. Okay, so there are going to be 2 tournaments that I want to kind of tell you guys about. The one is a tournament on the 20th, which is next Saturday, and it's a big charity tournament. One of our industrial psychology students is hosting. He's a former Mr. Universe South Africa or something like that, a pageantry winner, and well, there's actually quite big prize money in it, and all the proceeds are going. It's 40 Rand entrance, and all the proceeds are going to charity. And the details, I can send the link now as well. I'm going to just put it in the description of those watching the video after the stream, and in the comment section if I manage to find a moment in the tournament which isn't. Jump into Muzer. Is he going to get paired? Is this guy not paired? He's the first seed. Why is he not getting paired? If he doesn't get paired, we'll jump to Blackjack Reloaded. But Irion, just to answer your point, I'm not going to be playing the fundraiser tournament. I'm definitely going to be just streaming the tournament. And we have well, maybe not. Well, it's just the start of the tournament, so it's also good to see how players decide to play in the start of the tournament. I think this tournament has got the same policy that there's no berserk allowed, so you've got your time. You can play decent chess for the full. We were saying a game to its full length can be up to about 10 minutes. If they get to about 60 moves, well, it should be 10 minutes long. But therefore it could be longer as well if they get to more moves. But a game can occupy you for about 10 minutes. So we have a typical perk over here. A perk structure, and the a5 move is a typical move you'd make so that b4 doesn't hit away your knight as soon as you get here. And we were speaking about this knight h5 move earlier. It's a thing you do in the King's Indian, and also in this perk type of structure. I think after going knight f8, you'd like to go f5 and maybe one day put your knight back to where it came from, and if possible, go to the square f4. Oh, okay. Kenny's asking a good question. So he's asking if you want to go. Is there a way to look up the game I streamed? Or if I looked at your game earlier. So what I want to do, but I'll only do this probably after the streams, is I'd go make a little breakdown of which games happened where. So I haven't done that yet, as the stream happened an hour ago. I just took a break because I streamed the City Bang chess tournament as well today, and just a bit busy. So I'll try and do that as soon as possible. But for now, there's I think Roland, I was looking at your game earlier on. It was one of your first games. It was probably like in the first 20 minutes around there, just by memory. But I should be wrong. In any case, a lot of the things that I said would happen did happen. We did get a knight f8, and we did get the f5 move in. White, on the other hand, has also achieved quite a nice, quite a few nice things. Not sure if that trade. I don't know. I like this knight over here. Oh, it's being hit. Okay, you need to trade. Because I was thinking knight c5 would have been nice, but now it's just a bit too late. So we've caught up with the game, and they've played it tactically over here. Oh my word, this is beautiful. White is now lost. There's no getting out of this. Oh my word, beautiful. So the tactic was pretty cool. white should have really just gone for the pawn, in which case black would have said, hey, okay, I'm getting this f5 square and your position's awkward. But after this, he doesn't recapture the bishop immediately, he just pins it and there's no getting out of mate here. The pawn also covers the e2 square. Beautiful. In any case, blackjack reloaded. He's pausing just for a moment to appreciate how beautiful that final sequence was. Muzair is still not in a pairing, so I'm not sure what's happened. He's not on pause mode as well, so I wonder if a few players are struggling to get paired sometimes. Because the system... Oh. Okay, so Coach Roland is also saying he's playing in the 8-star tournament. And while we're discussing that, let me just get a game on the board. Okay, Muzair's in the game, finally. Finally. I was looking forward to this. Let's just see what they've got on the board. D4. And, okay. Like a Benko gambit. Very aggressive from black. In 1800. And while that's loading, let's just see what information I can see. So there's a junior section to the pasting that link now. And then there's also... I'm not sure what all there's a juniors team, and then there's like a stars team section. All of these are sections, but there's a PDF as well. Things in the description after the video as well. And if you want to play in the open section, apparently here's the Google form you need to fill out. And they've got pretty huge prize money. I know Keith Kamalu's already committed to the tournament, so if you're looking just for a tough game against one of the strongest Blitz players in the country, if not the strongest just by Lichess rating, I don't know if anyone's got a higher rating, except for Henry Steele. He's also usually got like a 2600. Now I'm over-exaggerating, like a 2500 Blitz rating, but Keith is up there. He's not there with Classical yet, but he's really... showing some dominance. Muzair is trying to go for a fork here. Also, this knight is just excellent on b4. So you need to move your queen now. Oh, by the way, he could have maybe just let the tactic slide. Knight c7 wasn't available immediately because of the check and picking up the knight. In any case, Ntate gets his queen moved away. There's no pushing the queen further away because the knight is then undefended. Okay, so there are all the links to that tournament. The link to... let me just get that link as well. The charity tournament. We are having... for sanitary pads. I'll send that now. Okay. Okay, so this is just a link to the tournament, but you should be able to figure out how to how to register as well. So you need to join the team, obviously. As one of those, to join the team, you need to fill in the form, tournaments. So, wow, I'm not finding the link. Okay, that will also be in the description. While I find it, let's just get back to the game. Don't want to do too much admin, although this is just the first 10 minutes of the tournament. Muhammad, and maybe this square would have been available for knight in here, but he feels that the bishop needs to get here first. So, okay. Okay, I'm still struggling to find that link. Wow, that's really weird. You can find the link in the description after the tournament's done. I'll put it over there as well. Okay, knight takes d6, so this pawn was undefended. Okay, he retreated with his bishop, still saying this is an excellent square for the knight, but since the queen got removed from the fence, he's saying, okay, I'll just take this pawn, and in the long run, I'm going to have a decent passed pawn. And he's definitely going to win this game. I'm not seeing anything clear for black to do. He probably goes for his best plan, something like knight f4. But I'm thinking just h3, just get rid of the queen for now. You've even got knight he He might want this knight around to go back to f4 though. Okay, that's why he goes queen f1. We see queen d7, just hitting with tempo, but I'm still now expecting knight c4. And okay, this knight is still such a beautiful piece. Knight on f5, but this pawn's hanging, right? Doesn't take too much calculation to see that bishop takes is possible, but he might go for knight takes, so he's considering which one. Knight takes, because at the end of the day, you've got this fork. Ouch. And knight h5 is the only way to hold on to the material. You need to go down an exchange now. An exchange and 2 pawns. Not looking good for black. Loads of time on the clock. Our top seed is getting in his first win, and he's playing for Manjani Chess Club. Manjanani, sorry. Okay, not taking that pawn. You're setting yourself up for some problems, I think. d6. Not even, okay? Not necessary even. Saying that, yeah, I wonder what's the story. You can't go knight takes maybe because of bishop takes b2. And the knight will be hanging and both rooks will be hanging. I'm thinking black gets back material. So Mizer is going to recapture the bishop. unless he's crazy and he does what he did in the game against Roberto on my channel. That's such a fascinating game. Where there were 4 queens on the board. They went into this long line where the pawn kept on taking to a1 and white's pawn took to a8. Roberto played some very interesting chess there, but Muhammad allowed it. He was keen to go into this interesting line. And actually, he was the one that brought the novelty. Okay, he's going to go d6, obviously, and then 98. And that should be all she wrote, I think. The king will be so cramped, and this pawn is also so close to advancing. So we're going to probably see this now. d6. Maybe g5 is an issue. Okay. Now d6. I mean, you can play d6. Okay. e6. Okay, so taking a different route to get to the same thing, I think. But this is definitely still one for him. These 2 pass pawns are mighty. And it's weird that he didn't manage to be up in exchange. It felt like it'd be over. He's trying to get in that fork and just push these pawns through. Now he's just fixed these pawns. And there's such a huge commodity. Queen check. King needs to go back, and you're wondering why he even moved there in the first place. Getting the rook up like this. He just wants the queens off, because then the queen's not defending the square anymore, then the pawn rolls through. The only way might have been to get a rook to this square. But in any case, this seems like game over. Should be 1 or 2 more moves. The 2-second increment can make a game like this go on longer than you'd expect it to. Okay. Okay, that means we have Ethan Sam, Blackjack Reloaded. He got another win in, by the way. Surem. And I'm very interested to see Ethan Sam play. Okay, he's playing against Otto Bismarck. And Otto Bismarck is playing for Cape Town Chess Club A, and they took their B team took the previous section. So these guys don't play around. Be careful, be careful. That should be game over. So you don't want any of that. Now he's looking to do it in a different way, and there's nothing really to do about it. How are you defending this? You might need to go h4 first, but then just bishop takes, and you're coming back with the same idea. Oh, this is interesting. I missed this. Okay, so bishop b5 and then rook here. And if there's a big trade, actually white is okay. He shouldn't be worse. White surviving. Otto Bismarck finding the defense over there more quickly than I did. Hi Sheldon Mole 3. Do you know Otto Bismarck? And who are you rooting for, man? Yeah, he lost the pawn there, but I don't know. This is bad because his opponent's going to try and make an outside pass pawn. But really, it's not necessarily lost. Grandmasters sometimes simplify into these positions because they know how to draw it. But playing with the more time on the clock, knowing you're the stronger player, he's definitely going to try and play for the win. Maybe king c3 with ideas of a rook b2 would be an idea, because if you allow b4 to happen, it's actually okay. You can just hang around with your king here. So he wants relatively the same thing, maybe, but the rook just does a good job of keeping the king out. So I think king c3 would have been a forcing way to try and get some pawns off. Oh, Sheldon Moultrie says that Otto Bismarck is a club player. Yeah, I'd assume so. He's playing for Cape Town Chess Club. Man, I'm just kidding. Okay, so rook b2 is incoming. Be careful now. Be careful. This is the idea. Oh, no, you're allowing it. Okay, maybe it's okay to allow it. Rook b2, throw in a check. Okay. Oh, do you want to throw in the check? The king becomes active. Rook a6. Oh, the king went back. This is definitely not the right idea. King needed to go up, and now it's definitely drawn again. Rook takes a2, king takes b. Rook a1. Oh. No, this game, no. Why did the king go here? Needed to stay close to the pawn, man. Okay, now black is definitely converting. These two pass pawns, plus another pawn on this side, plus a minute on the clock. Ethan Samuel is going to be running away with this game. Oh, this does get technical. What? He got back the pawn? He's getting behind this pawn? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's still more things to be said. Take the pawn. Give it check first. You're allowing the king to... Wow, Ethan Sam doesn't want his king to become active. That would be my first thought, trying to get my king into the position. He throws his king back. This guy is a great blitz player. His rating is way higher than mine. But not going for any of that. Okay, so... It's going to simplify now. Okay. Okay, maybe... I don't want to give a verdict yet, because Otto's... He had a way to draw it, but then he threw it away again. But Ethan's allowing him to do a few things here. Yo, you really want to get your king to the square. You need to make a threat of your own. Black is... What? Wait. Which way is the white pawn moving to? I thought the capture was possible. Okay. Defend the pawn. Now you're down to 3 pawns, and... Oh, okay. I don't think we need to watch this any further. This is just going to be a conversion. It's going to take a while, but 3 pawns. Goes with the passed pawn. Just supporting it, and how are you defending? Rook here, game over. Okay. Well done, Otto Bismarck. I think that last position with the pawns here should be reevaluated. He tries to go for a draw, but I think he's just wasting time. He should be trying to get in more games. So Ethan still, I think that puts him from 3rd place. This is going to take him to, well, is he on fire yet? No, he's not even in the top 10 at the moment. Accumulator with 4 points. He's going to be in the top boards now. I'm going to see him pop up as one of those with 4 points. The Chessmaster Terminator and Accumulator. How's it going so far? Steinitz and UCT. Well done, UCT. I was not expecting their name to pop up so high on the list so early on in the tournament. And okay, let's see who's starting a game, and then we'll fall in. Accumulator, also strong. And the setup they have here, it looks like it arrived. Well, this could arrive probably from a few structures. Actually, I'm too curious. I want to know how it arrived. D4. Okay. Okay, so this was the point where white decided to close the position, not keep any tension in the center. So who stands better? I don't know. This is very like hyper modern in the sense that black would be gnawing at this really extended pawn structure of white, but if white manages to defend and find nice outposts for his pieces, then he's going to be pretty with the space he's managed to. And unfortunately, bishop h6 doesn't seem to result in too much after just bishop h8. There's no rook on f8, so white doesn't even try that. Okay, switching his way to the queen side, saying he's going to try and play with the close center, and it seems like nothing's happening on the king side, so he's going to try and make something out of this side of the board. Pushing a5. Was this an opportunity for black to make an outpost for his knight On c5, probably. Okay, he did not go for it. So he's saying that either way we capture now, the position's going to be structurally very similar, maybe with one file potentially opening. So he tries to play on the king side, saying for the time being you're playing on this side of the board. You've forgotten about this, but this is honestly just one pawn. And after something like bishop g5, h3 is still annoying. You don't want to capture necessarily. It's just going to make your pawn structure awkward. And I like how black's playing this. He's decided that white's spending a lot of time on this side of the board. He'll switch to the other side. And typical game of play on both sides of the board. And well, not one single trade yet. All the pieces and all the pawns are on the board. A very dynamic game. I wonder if white should have used the opportunity to play bishop h6 right there. I wonder. Because now f4 comes with tempo. You don't need to respond to the pawn move. And after bishop f2, maybe then only respond. In any case, the game... Now the structure of the game might change. White now has the possibility to play f4 himself and keep things very sharp. f4 is a tricky move because you're potentially also threatening bishop takes h5 for trade over here. In Magnus's game yesterday against Lavorneronian, we saw a beautiful rook b8. Actually, I'm lying. It was rook to a8, but it was very similar. That rook just coming in. I think that would have been cool. Something like rook b8, queen attacks rook. You simply just defend the rook. And you've got a rook on the 8th rank. In any case, play ensues on the king side. Black has got this beautiful square now for the queen and h3. Or bishop h3 with the queen on g5. Very awkward for white to deal with. What are you doing exactly over here? He's going to shift his weight now. Queen g5. I'm putting my money on it. Give away this pawn. Trading queens doesn't seem to suit black. White's got this fantastic passed pawn, which is protected. Queen g5, I put my money on it. I don't know who's going to pay me for putting my money on it. I wasn't betting with anyone, so no money. Okay, what to do here as white? Firstly, do you go for the extra pawn? Are there any threats? Knight d3 doesn't seem to do much. You can simply go queen e3 then. In any case, it's black with a move to make. I don't know why I was... He's got a forced draw if he wants. He's got a forced draw. He's going to just win some time there. 2100 here. Playing beautiful chess. This whole movement on the king side, it didn't seem like it would amount to much. Oh, okay. Thank you, Burton van Staden. This is Dr. Lyndon Boer, and I'm glad we're watching his games. I think he's the last player I was analyzing on my channel. He played a fantastic game there. And Blaze is Gabriel Hendricks. And Angel and Corsi, am I playing tomorrow? Do you mean with the USA's Blitz tournament? And if that's the question, then yeah, I will be playing. Steinitz A. 8644442. They've got some big scores over here. I think they really want to take this one. If we compare Cape Town, well, Cape Town's falling out already. I know it's only 20 minutes, but compared to the previous tournament, it seems like they've got a stronger B team compared to the other B teams than an A team compared to the other A teams. But Blackjack's Reload is taking the lead there with 8. And we'll keep to one of his games for now. Paradox 1982. This guy is also a scary Blitz player. We usually see him also in the Corona Chess War team battle. And they've got quite a closed position with White's king still uncastled. And White, I'm choosing White here. If I had to play one of these positions, I'd really like White. Black has got some potential on this side of the board, but even if White is deciding to play materialistically, he can say that, okay, after g4 I'm simply going to, first capture your rook, right? Wait, after this trades. Oh no, this is actually a threat. So g4 would have been a threat, right? So after takes and takes, queen can't take, right? Because then your rook's hanging. So, but maybe, yet again, maybe there was a different threat on the board. That's why queen e8, just to show when the rook was back here. So that after g4, captures, not queen takes, but sacking the queen momentarily, going rook takes h8. After g takes f, going rook takes f8 with check, forcing this queen to e8, taking that queen with check, and after king e8, well, I don't know what to do then. You're up in material. You can probably just go rook takes e7 check, bishop takes, and then move away your knight, playing up a rook and a piece. So that's why queen e8. If you guys are wondering why the mysterious move, it's to hold on to material. And wow, black is very sharp, I guess, noticing that. But still, white is for choice here. I'd even give. Black is getting this pawn, right, if he wants it. Oh wait, no. Be careful. There's a tactic. Check. Picks up the knight. Oh, just feels like black really wants to start something over here, but not getting the time to do so. White playing instructive chess, showing us that if the center is closed, your king is fine over here. Black gets a bit paranoid with his king, starts running it. Doesn't want to be on this check line. Imagine moving your knight or rook and dropping a piece to that check. And now after white's king goes to b1, it feels like he's castled. This is Warwick Erlang and Kenny Willenberg. Okay. Okay, so I was thinking this is Kenny Willenberg. This guy's bullet rating. I think I played him one night. This is a low rating for Blackjack Reloaded. He was something insane, and yeah, Kenny Willenberg, another Willenberg here in the house. I think his dad is on his account then in the chat. Roland over there. In any case, we were watching him play just now. Father and son. Playing some online chess today, supporting each other in the chat. In any case, yeah, Warwick is on it. He's getting the exchange over here. The issue was that the knight couldn't capture because of the pin. So how to? Whoa, this is actually pretty tricky now. Kenny is maybe. He needs to go king takes, because even knight takes, you're starting to trade on pieces. After rook takes, bishop takes is also not possible, so you need to go queen takes. And after queen takes, king takes, he's already down a piece. Wait, there was a knight there, so something of my calculations aren't right. This is a tricky position. But he's... Oh my word, he's losing now. Oh, rook takes can be met by queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes check. Beautiful. He's going to throw in the towel. He can't go bishop takes because of rook takes. He might have one idea still up his sleeve, but I'm not buying it. This is a resigner. Warwick, great game over here. He goes for rook takes, but we're going to see queen takes, and now a resigner most likely. And I wonder where Kenny went wrong, because this game is now over. I think he should be resigning around about now. I was still liking white in this position. Okay, sorry, let's go back. He resigned in the end. I was still liking white round about here. And still over here. So, I think tactically things... Oh, okay, so c4 maybe. But there's not much else to do as white. Maybe it would have been time to get the queen out of all of these pins over here and try and get us... Oh, d1 probably. Try and get the pieces out of the way of the rook, all of these pins. Anyways, let's get back to the tournament. That could have been a big game, because Paradox now taking the lead, and like his clubmate Muhammad Bawudian, they've got a strong club here, and already one player is in the lead. Ethan Samuel, is he just starting a game? I think we will watch one of his games again. Playing against Wookie Cookies. And thank you. Just simple trades. Very, very closed, or I'll say Probably black for choice over here. Ethan is trying to play against this weak isolated pawn. We saw this type of structure arise earlier on. And furthermore, the position is kind of, well, very quiet. White might want to bring the bishop back, yep, and fix the pawn structure. Trying taking towards the center, because you could potentially make a pass pawn roundabout here. So Ethan backs up the bishop. He says he doesn't want this doubled pawn. He could have maybe decided to develop the knight as well. Because c4 and you get knight b4, and the fork makes that you play with the bishop pair. Rook d1. b6, trying to get the bishop maybe to b7. Is it time to strike now for Wookie Cookies? Okay, I'm going to just see if I can find that list of the players' names. I know it was sent to me. Okay. I think there might be a link with some of the players' names on, if I'm looking for. Donkey. Okay, so white's setting up a simple mate in one threat, and you don't want to defend it via bishop f6. The only way to defend it is queen. Playing f6 yourself. You could probably or g6. I didn't want to go for g6 necessarily. You're making a lot of room around your king now. Oh, you're saying the board is clipped at the top. Okay, I'll just fix that. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know why has nobody said that yet. I haven't set up the board again, so I need to. Okay, so we have a very friendly player with us tonight. It's Mr. Burton van Staden. If I'm not wrong, you are the Western Cape Chess. And he's providing me with the names here. I think you sent me the link or something with the names of the players. I just couldn't find it right now. But he says Wookie Cookie is Michael Cuthbert, and he's playing against Ethan Samuel. And wow. Thanks, Tando Shlaku. La? I think I'm saying it right. And I probably missed the wow moment over there. Okay. So Ethan's managed to get the exchange, but I'm not completely buying his position. It feels like white has still got a lot of activity and space here around the king to work with. The knight can also be such a tricky piece when it attacks, so you need to be careful. And even something like knight e5, I'm not sure if I want to give up this bishop just yet, because of all the dark squared weaknesses. Something like queen f4, queen f6, and you're the one crying. Okay, I think maybe Michael Cuthbert is going for a perpetual. So I think this is the idea he has, and that is stopped. He wanted to go knight e6, and after the trade, I just check into well, decimal perpetual. Okay, thanks, Tondo. Okay, so that was put to rest by Ethan. He took a pawn. He took the opportunity to say, okay, I'm not taking a draw, and you want to try and make a draw? I'm just going to fall back with my queen. I took a pawn as well. Then you've lost the knight and you're not making a draw. Okay. White resigns here. Okay, this check he attacked the rook, but the check now piles up on the knight, and there's no saving the knight anymore. I think this should put Ethan in first place. Oh, paradox. Warwick's still doing very well, and he is in a game against Sasha, which we could get to in a second. I just want to make certain I'm not missing any anything else funny happening. Okay, MCI, and this player is the player for UCT, and the player I get paired against quite regularly in the USA's tournament. I think, oh, I've got a positive score against this player because of the USA's tournament. But it seems like Muhammad has got quite a knack for losing against this guy. So sometimes we've all got that one opponent that that our style or whatever, they just see right through it, and well, we're bust against them. So I'm excited for this game. Manyanani Chess Club in Cape Town versus UCT's A Chess Club. And how glad are you guys not that the Northwest University of Potchefstroom is not in the Cape, because then this league would have been suffering, right? In any case, number 3 versus number 12. And Muhammad with the white pieces. Very symmetrical structure over here. The bishop on e6 is not necessarily so bad. One can make the point that, well, he makes this point exactly, that the knight can now go to c4, and if you want to capture, be my guest. The d3 square might perspective be a place where one of my pieces land, but also I could try and make a majority here on the queen's side. So, also eyeballing this pawn. If white doesn't defend or do something proactively, this pawn's just going to drop off of the board. You might wonder, what is the deal with taking this pawn? I think it's simply knight takes a5, and okay, so he went for this, going for the extra pawn. Oh, Andrew McInnes. Okay, so okay, Andrew McInnes is not currently a student at UCT, and as far, well, he coached them last year. He's one of their coaches, I think, at USA's, and I played a game against them in the USA's Blitz. That's quite a fun tournament. They have it in between the well, it's on one of the nights in between the tournament of the classical games, and I think I was the only, Masia and Fundo and myself, we were the only guys that were able to take him down. But I should not have taken him down. He played such a cool game. He was so upset afterwards. He was smoking his rollies afterwards and kind of cursing to himself, not happy. I felt a bit bad, but sometimes that's just chess. Okay, so Muhammad went for this line with the c4 pawn coming, and I don't think this captures would have been great at all. So he keeps Andrew keeps the knight, because capturing would just set the rook back and allow some prospective d5 pushes, e5 pushes. Lots of tempos here for Muhammad in the center of the board. Now we have to wonder again, what is the deal with the knight coming to this square? You've curated the square for your knight to come to. You really might consider just dropping your knight right over here. And well, then the bishop also becomes a star piece. After this d5 move, I'm actually liking Andrew's position quite a lot. Black, although the position is way unorthodox, well, he's got not exactly. This comes with tempo. If this did not come with tempo, the rook would have been trapped. So luckily for Muhammad. Oh, but by the way, it's not an idea at all, because the queen guards the square as well. Oh, but okay. Let's start with the captures, and then the queen will shut out this bishop. Okay. Very interesting. Quite tricky to evaluate. Muhammad has decided that maybe the knight going to d3 is a bit much. So throw the knight back. But when I was looking at the position well, right now, I was thinking, okay, no, I'm not sure anymore. White is... This last move, I'm not too... Oh... Imagine this rook over here. We would have seen the typical Anastasia mate. Queen sacrifice right here. King takes and rook slides over. Checkmate. The knight guarding those two squares. But that's not exactly the idea over here. The check. It's tricky to see what both players are going for. Previously, before the bishop came off, I liked black more, because the queen was inactive because of the... they're not doing a good job of getting out of the position on the file. But now the bishop's gone. The white queen is slightly more active, but Andrew can maybe make a point here that this construction, well, it's pretty far up into your position, and I can maybe make havoc. Remember, this move is available. Might be one. Whoa, what's that about? Whoa, that's unnecessary, right? Whoa, knight takes e4. Knight b1 was possible. Asking the queen, where are you moving to defend this knight? Whoa. What's this about? Am I missing a serious tactic over here? What happens if captures? Oh. Okay, so these guys are in the tournament and they've definitely... they're on fire already, spotting these nice pawn wins. And Muhammad might be going down here, losing a pawn because of this tactic. By the way, isn't knight f3 available? Wait, knight f3 is available. Wait, knight f3? What's wrong with knight f3? A queen takes there, maybe, yeah. Okay, so that is a deep idea. Knight f3 wasn't available. The rook was hanging on a1. Wow. This is some beautiful, beautiful chess these guys are playing. And, well, there's a few pros and cons of the coronavirus, and one of the pros is all the online chess. There's a big point to be made for online chess in terms of preserving some of these games. A lot of these games would have just been lost if it was played over the board. Yeah, this was a weak move, I guess, by Andrew. There was never a possibility to capture because of queen takes. Checkmate. And the same kind of idea, even if the queen's aren't there, the bishop is now doing the role of being active over here. So white is definitely winning now all of a sudden. I think the f5 move was... Yeah, these guys are tactically sharp. Just when I think one player is up a pawn, he's not anymore. So this captures is obviously going to be met by captures, but he might be planning this... Oh, well, you can't do that. Goes to the bishop instead. And Muhammad now down a pawn after all of that craziness. It seemed like he was winning a second ago. And okay, I think I should just sit back and see how the game unfolds. I can't speak too soon. This game's just got a seriously crazy character to it. And maybe this is why, because I mean, Andrew and Muhammad, they probably grew up together playing chess. Both in the same region, so they've got a different type of respect for each other. Definitely the stronger player. I don't know why he's suffering so much, and seems to be suffering kind of in his lifetime score against Andrew. But now Andrew's definitely going to take this game home. He's going to be passed. He's going to probably try and run the pawn all the way to a2. Then the king needs to stay around. Well, the theory is these two squares. You can't ever push your king too far away. Okay, this might just be a theoretical draw, because there's no getting the king off of these two squares, the white king. Okay, let's see how... Okay, so Muhammad's going to play with the king here. One of the points is if king f3, then rook h1 prepares to make a queen, and capturing the pawn walks into rook h2 check, pinning that king in and pawn and picking up the pawn. That's how you make progress. Oh, but this doesn't work. Wait. This doesn't work. This is the draw. Muhammad can now just move. Wait. Okay, white's king can't take the pawn, by the way, because you walk into check, and there's a queen incoming. So now he needs to defend the position from up here. When the king comes close to the rook via this side, he needs to shift over and try and check the king from over here. But now he's got tempos like this. So now he needs to check him from the bottom or the top. So this is a theoretical draw, because the white king doesn't need to move from the square. And if the black rook moves, the white rook would be in time to pick up the pawn. He just needs to move back to the pawn every time to pick up the pawn. So Muhammad's going to be drawing this game, down to pawns, but a theoretical draw. I was wondering earlier on if there's a different way to get the king off of the square. But he found this beautiful shove earlier on of his h5 pawn, giving up the pawn just to pick up this pawn with check, saying that you're not beating me with this g pawn. I know how to draw the game, and they're going to spend a while on this game. Still, well, Andrew just tries to see if he can maybe force some kind of mistake. If the defense is going to slip up after a while. But 2 seconds increment, and Muhammad has been holding it so far. Where are you hiding your king away? This is just one big square of checks. One big square of checks. Your rook, pawn, there's nothing weird you can do. And this is maybe the second time this position has happened. And he doesn't even need to leave defense of the a file. He can just hang around. Yep, and then this check becomes available. Check and just move the rook back down. Very instructive, very instructive. If Andrew's not careful, he might just end up losing this game on time. He's also keeping to the 2 seconds, but he's going to wait around a while. It now becomes interesting to me to know when the last pawn move was, because if there's not a pawn move, the game's just going to end in a draw. Black offers draw, and they make a draw. Okay, so after Andrew then played for quite a few moves, he realized there's nothing happening there. What a beautiful game, so instructive. Okay, but that leaves Warwick in first place, and Ethan also quite close there. Dr. Shabir is also climbing up with fire, and possible to now take down Muhammad as he's climbing up over there. I think he'd enjoy that. In any case, let's see. Let's watch. I want to watch one of Warwick's games, but it seems like he's ending a game right now. A game where. Okay, so I want to watch a game that's starting right now. Ethan is in interesting positions the whole time. Muhammad should be in a game that's starting right now against ex-Wichensuch. I don't like that name. It's so tricky to pronounce. Okay, let's watch another one of these games. I'm not rooting for the top seed necessarily, but it's fun to watch the top, probably the top rated game here. And tactically, you just picked off a rook. So how do you convert a position where, okay, you haven't even begun to play the game yet. You're not even close to anything as black, but you've won some material. And ex-Wichensuch is going to be looking for something aggressive here. Playing down material, you can't really afford to sit on your hands over here. You need to find some positional compensation for the damage that has been done materially. A4, great move, trying to get this rook in. You don't have so many you don't have so many pieces to bring into the game. Actually, you've kind of managed to do with all of them. Oh, and Muhammad's still not bringing any pieces to the party. Craig Willenberg, thank you so much, Burton. Can someone please ask Craig just to make a new account with his name in or something? Wow, be careful. Queen trap, queen trap. This is a beautiful queen trap. Wow, and Craig is definitely better here. One of the main points is that if black doesn't respond to the queen trap by moving his queen or something, if he moves his queen, the bishop is already in the position, and then a takes, and rook coming into the position is coming. So that's stopped like this. I was wondering if he's going to go b takes just to threaten the queen momentarily, but rook takes a4, and queen still needs to go back. So he needs to move the only pieces he's already kind of moved in the game yet again. And definitely liking Craig over here. Okay. How to do something with this initiative of yours? Down a piece. I mean an exchange, not a piece. With what seems to be a position where black has not made any effort to get his king safe, so you need to play against that unsafe king. Now, one of the squares I'm looking at when I'm analyzing the position is this f7 square. If I can just land my knight there, then your king will never get castled, and then we're going to have a lot of fun in this game. So, okay. Now we're talking. Give away more material. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. Oh. Wait, let's just watch what happens. He goes for this f7 square and king e7. Oh, one of the points is that the queen is entering the position, and now he can go back for the rook, and the king isn't castled anymore. Very smooth. But you're now down a full rook, and yet again a takes is not possible because actually your pawn is also pinned. So, saying I'll play down a rook, I'll attack your rook, and your king is still not developed. And I'm enjoying this game. I wanna see some blood, and I'm hoping. Oh, Craig is playing some brilliant chess over here. The queen is trapped now, and it was simply a pawn that does the trapping. And this is what I wanted to see. This is still going to be very interesting. He's down a rook, and if queen takes a4, rook takes a4, he's actually still down. Or he's still down a pawn. Black's got 2 rooks for the queen. But definitely white is better, because one of the things you're looking for when you're playing down that specific type of exchange, and we're seeing it right there over the board, is the fact that white king and the 2 rooks aren't coordinated very well. So he immediately goes for the extra pawns that aren't defended, but, well, there's not really much better to do in the position, right? The knight over here is really hoping for a better home, but for now this is really the best. And, well, just a bit of applause over there. That was what I was hoping for. Something instructive like this. And yet again, guys, this king can't castle. So hello, rook, all the way over here. You are on the board, but you're not doing much. So now you've got 2 pieces versus 3, and what a beautiful combination there. Queen e3 did not actually hit that rook. That wasn't the main idea, although it was looking to get some material compensation. It was hoping for b4, just trapping that queen. And that was some beautiful chess, showing us why it's important to get castled quickly. Even though Mohammed got the exchange, it didn't mean much. Be careful now as black. Don't go e4, because you're opening up the d4 square. And pawn moves, a lot of people tell you in their classical lessons that a pawn move can't be taken back. So I don't know if anyone else at this Chess Master 2000 this old chess program, but it was one of the first instructional programs that had little games in and things to help you improve your game. Joss Watchkin is I think an American. In both fields, he was just fantastic. By the way, the bishop's pinned at the moment, so there's there's no taking this knight. So now the queen is really entering. So Josh Watkin had this other point that you need to beware of space you left behind. You're right there, Anna. Okay. And one of the things I was saying just now when the knight was on f3, going e4, and you're leaving open the d4 square. The pawn can't go back, and then suddenly the knight goes to e6. And, oh, this is just beautiful. Knight takes on g3 now. Rook h7. And I must say, unfortunately, oh, now this rook falls. Oh, not necessary, is it? You can take this rook with check, take this rook. And this is just a note to Mohammed that I really enjoy his games, and by far the games he lost are the games I enjoy the most. Nothing personal against him, just some players tend to lose in such a beautiful fashion. Some players that never ended up being world champions, that played world championship matches are forgotten to us. But some players are famous for the games they've lost. All these famous games have got players that lost in them as well, and we know them for that reason. But in any case, I'm sure we'll see more beautiful games of where Mohammed manages to win. And on that note, coming to a player that has been winning some games, playing against Mr. Open Files, and he's really trying to get black to capture this knight. He really wants this bishop on e4, maybe just close it down with something like e5, but long-term wise 6. He brings his knight back though. Knight c3, and now your plan is giving this check, maybe after queen a4, obviously, because you want to recapture with pawn against the queen. Maybe even he's got this insane line where knight takes, knight check, knight takes, c takes. That line was there when the rook was still on that square. And after bishop takes queen, pawn takes queen, and both the bishop and rook are being hit. That would have been pretty beautiful as well. So that's why rook c8, stopping all of that. And b4 is a way to play aggressively, bring another pawn closer to the attack. Instead of just stepping out of this pin with your queen, just put a pawn in front of it. And now your tactics might be on board. Giving this check, you need to go knight takes, because moving the king walks into this bishop skewer. So knight takes and then pawn takes, and you've got the same problems. Queen would need to retreat back. So this is avoided by going bishop f6, because now the tactic doesn't work anymore, because this diagonal that white wants to play with is no longer available. Yeah. White is definitely better over here. Maybe even rook e5. Rook e5 is one of those moves that you make and you say, hey man, it's not about the pieces, it's about the squares. Getting that e5 square. He does something similar. He gives up the exchange in this way. Now this check. What's the master plan? Oh, he just gets back material. Okay. Nothing too fancy, but queen takes h7. a7, sorry. No, queen takes f3. Giving the king an opportunity to run back. I'm not sure if I like it too much. yeah, thanks, Coach Roland. No, you must maybe tell us who coached the Craig there, because that's some beautiful chess. I enjoyed that a lot. Giving us some beautiful games. But white is definitely going to win over here. There's no doubts about it in this game. I'm thinking I must probably even cover that last game of of Craig for the channel. That will make a fun game. It'll be, I think, the third time even Muhammad is on the channel that he hasn't won a game. Shame. But then I'll probably feel too bad. Okay, so he managed to flag here, so I'll probably have to go look for a game where he managed to win. So just to make up for that. So Ethan is running away with this tournament so far. An hour to go. If he manages to keep up this pace, the tournament will be his. Giving a hard fight there for Steinitz. Steinitz still doing really well. And, someone... let's go look at Dr. Lindenboer's games. Also playing here for Steinitz. And playing against Shoei 2. Now, Shoei 2, I've seen this name a few times before. And this game looks pretty fun for the Doctor, because of this beautiful outpost. And I was thinking potentially you'd go queen a5, eyeing that rook c7 move. But he's gone knight e4 instead. And what is his plan? Maybe he just wants to play the simple knight c6, or maybe he wants to make the Yan move and give up the exchange. Rook c6. No, I'm calling giving up the exchange the Yan move, because there was a time in my playing that giving up the exchange was just such an addictive feeling. You just feel like, hey, just get rid of this rook. I just want that knight. You don't have that knight anymore. And it's such an alpha male move to make, giving up the exchange. So that's why it's called the Yan, doing a Yan move. Okay. So now I actually like the way he's played it. The knight to d4 had nothing to do with the queen side. It was aiming to push this f-pawn. And now suddenly we might just see another Dr. Linden move, taking that pawn on g7. Okay, so Shoei to a Sherwin Klainsmith. Thank you so much, Burton van Staden. for helping us here. And I'll after the tournament, I'm going to go write up the names of the games I managed to watch, and well, try and feature the guys like this. Be careful, don't move this knight just yet. This knight is a big defensive piece over here. A Klainsmith, yeah. Yeah, the Doctor is playing some aggressive chess now. I'm also looking for another rover, a rook up and over. Any moment now, maybe right now is the time to do it. Rook f3. Rook f3, and what are you doing about all of these moves coming? And the reason why this can work now is that there isn't any good discovery on my rook, right? So most of these discoveries should manage to give back the exchange. So as I was saying it, the Doctor played it, but now this response is also pretty clever by Showan. If you want to move your rook, be my guest. I'm taking your knight. Of course, Roland. You gave Craig the idea. You gave him the opening prep to give up the exchange over there. Welcome, Greg Baker. Oh, maybe. Okay, so I was in the previous line just a few moves ago. I was even considering. Let's quickly go back. I was considering giving away my knight like Showan wants me to, saying take my knight, be my guest. I'm going to play Queen takes h6, but I guess g6 was just too good of a defense over there, so that wasn't seen. We have a position that is definitely still in favor of Dr. Lyndon Bua, and I'm very curious as to how he's going to convert this. This just seems like a massive attack. One of the problems for black also, you can't really make anything of this rook on f8. This f-pawn is so weak. Okay, so here's the start of the plan. Okay, let's just get this knight to do some damage on both of these pawns, and I'm expecting a resigner soon. I'm not seeing how you fight back here, really. The position is just so dominant. g6, knight takes h6, and well, your position is just terrible. Thanks, Mr. Greg. Which team are you rooting for? Okay, I was thinking g6 and king on g7, but now this is the position I already wanted to resign in, but maybe there's some work to be done here still. Okay, so this is how he does it. So this, first of all, is just a bit of a prophylactic move. You want to go rook h8, right? But be careful of your f7 pawn. And rook h8, okay. There wasn't a capture, I think, immediately. There was because the knight would have been hanging off the queen moves. So he doesn't go for this. He just repeats once, and now just realize he made this move just now. He moved the rook from e1 to f1, and one of the ideas was to free up the queen to go to this h6 square. And now he's definitely considering queen h6. The only downfall maybe... Oh, there's not really a downfall of going queen h6, right? He's just calc 5, rook takes f5. But the g-pawn is pinned. Oh, wait, I missed something. Okay, I missed something here. Queen takes e5. Defends. Oh, but this is still probably over. No fancy checks. This is why Dr. Lindenboer was calculating. And I was clearly not calculating, because you needed to go down the line and see that rook h3 is possible. Yes, Irion, he is, I think, 1800 leeches rated, but by no way are you going to be taking down Roland Willenberg in classical. By the way, everyone, I see that Irion Low has joined us. He's also from the Northwest University Potchefstroom, and just before he calls me a Patser, I just want to call him one, so there you go. But thanks for joining us, Irion. And that was a great game by the Doctor. And I'm hoping to see him take down some of these stronger players. Ex-Wiegensug, Craig Willenberg, is climbing the ladder. But the Doctor is also climbing the ladder. And Ethan as well. And this has to be great for Steinitz A, as they are dominating this tournament. Manya Nani, Chess Club. Greg Baker seems to be a fan. And Muzair Mohammed Bawudian is representing them very strongly. And Warwick Erlang is also doing quite well for them at the moment. And I'm sure Dr. Shabir is also in the mix there somewhere. So, not to leave out any of the top players, I see that Kenny is back in a game representing Blackjacks over there. What is this? What is the deal with Kenny? You missed the commentary earlier. I also played against Roland in the 24-hour tournament. He beat me. I cried. In any case, what is the deal with Kenny Willenberg playing for Blackjacks? Hey, I thought the Willenberg family was confined to the Steinitz club. It was impossible to represent any other club. It was in your DNA. Or maybe this is just a different club or something. His own club, as this seems to be his name. Okay, we have a nice idea here by him. He's trying to go for the c6 break. One of the main ideas would have been to, after while making a big threat out of this passed c pawn. And Mohammed Bawudian, this is actually a great matchup. Look at the similar rating, a 23-25 playing against a 23-26. And well, we all know these guys are Blitz legends. Irion saying that Roland didn't berserk him back in the 24-hour tournament. Steenkamp is our coach. He asked me the other day, waar is die berserker knoppie in League Chess? So I sent him a screenshot, but I said, hey man, just use it wisely. Don't because he didn't do too well in the next tournament. He actually won a tournament without berserking, but the next tournament he berserked. He came like 11th or something. So you need to be careful with that option. So my respects to Mr. Roland for not using it. I myself scared of that button. In any case, Mohammed picked up a pawn here in the center with this trade, but I'm still feeling kind of equalish about the position. Be a bit on my edge now as Kenny. It wouldn't be too comfortable playing down this pawn. It's not the healthiest of pawns, but the bishops they're doing a pretty great job at the moment, and he does have the bishop pair. This is a lot to be said. Sorry, earlier on I was actually considering a way to sacrifice a knight here on. To coordinate them and to sacrifice them together to open the position, using an open square like this, just to get this type of outpost for my knight. In any case, I'm not... Wait a minute. What was that captures about so suddenly? He just captured that knight out of nowhere. I was thinking that bishop d5 was possible. Get rid of the strong bishop. Now he's traded into an endgame where, okay, there's loads of possibilities here to make a pass pawn, and it just... You can just play c4 one day and just put this pawn on b2. In any case, I'm not too sure what that was all about. In any case, so rook c8, trying to get this break in maybe. That's just stopped, finding a nice outpost. 2 seconds increment, playing with the bishop versus the knight, but there is kind of... some action here in the center for Kenny. He's trying to find a way to maybe nip this pawn back and claim that black might be a bit slow defending the queen side of the board for the time being. How is he going to add more pressure in the position? I'm expecting queen... Oh, I was thinking queen d7 and kind of force this rook to stay on his post and claim that this pawn is pretty weak at the moment. Yeah, go Steinitz, thanks. Fortunately, I'm very unbiased. I don't have a preference for any one of these clubs, so I'm just shouting whatever you guys write down there in the comments as I'm reading. This is an idea. Be careful. There's a pin. Going to lose material, so it's defended. And now, how is Mohammed going to make progress? One of the main points here is that this pawn is a bit backwards. You're not getting a nice pawn. You'd really want this b pawn right here now, so that you can make some progress on the queen side. Okay, I won't ask Kenny why he's playing for blackjacks. Um, trying to Okay, I'll go for this pawn. I don't know. Is there a trap that Muhammad's setting up over here? Is the rook coming to c2 maybe an issue? I don't know. I think he just lost his entire advantage back. To my mind, maybe this coordination is something to worry about. But oh, he's a tricky player. You need to accept it, right? King g3 and h4, and he's going to force you to accept this exchange. Going back with your king doesn't seem like an option at all. Kenny doesn't want any of it. He says, go take back another pawn. I just want a rook and a knight. I don't want this game to simplify where there's just a bishop and a knight. These pawns are on light squares, and the white king can defend on this side of the board pretty well. I don't know. In any case, down a lot of time on the clock. This could still go anyway, but oh, that's probably why the calculation was a bit strange there by Kenny. But he managed actually to get back in the game from a very bad position over there, with those bishops slicing through the board. And now I'm not too sure what he's making of it anymore. He needs to go rook takes a5 and try and maybe use a pin over here to gain some material. Now knight c7 seems very nice. Okay, maybe he's getting back some material. Yeah, this seems okay for him. He needs to make a threat out of the a pawn as soon as possible as well. Okay, here comes a nice tactic. There you go. Now he's at least got a draw. Take this pawn, run this knight back, try and throw this knight away for both these pawns, and then you've got a draw. Get this king to divert his attention. Okay, now, and we could okay, you want to get to the 7th, right? But knight f5, and I'm starting to wonder, is this so good for me? Because all of a sudden, this pawn on h7 is also defended, my rook is being hit, and we've got funny business with this knight entering the position via g6 or e6, and okay, there's a pin then. So Ethan starts off by making more room for this rook to back off into after something like knight f5 on the 7th, and his opponent responds by saying that, okay, maybe I can get this knight deeper into the position and threaten a back rank or something. Okay, now if I were black, I'd play rook d8 and I'd still have back rank ideas in mind. Definitely white is for choice here. He's playing up a piece, but this player's character is making it tricky. Trying to trade off pieces here is Ethan, saying that, okay, let's just go to this endgame where I'm up some material. Black can't go for it. They're both down 10 seconds to 14 seconds. This can still be weird. If white can't find a concrete plan, oh, there's the concrete plan. Just win some more material. Okay. That was the concrete plan. Get this position. Okay. And there was no recaptures or anything funny. And let's see the standings at the moment. We've got 131, Steinitz A, and there's no doubt that they're going to win this tournament. They've got excellent players over here, taking the top 4 spots, and that's a tricky thing to do with players like Mohamed Bawudian playing top seed in the tournament, and Warwick Erlang. They've been playing great chess. I think it's just like when one player is very nationalist about their club, and they like their club a lot, there's a different type of strength that emerges from them. And I think that's why club chess is so good. So let's leave the top seed for the time being. And, well, I think I played a game just now against Mondota. Let's see how it's going with the second seed for Steinitz A. Not sure who the guy is. I played a warm-up game against him. I got a bit lucky there. Not really. Played really well, that's why I won. But here he's going for something interesting against the Sicilian. He's got this is yet again like a French variation of the Sicilian, so I'm not sure if it's the French or the Sicilian, but black is definitely for choice here. Already with the c5 so early on in the game, you know he's going to be playing against this pawn structure of whites, and white is going to be on the defensive very quickly. Oh, Michael James. Okay, but Michael James is the player that Okay, so white resigns here. Mandorza taking down. As I was saying, you don't want. As I was saying, you don't want to go bishop e3. You're going to get queen takes g2. So I've got what they call the commentator's curse. What I say becomes true. So Michael James, he played in the SA closed. Well, the open closed. I always speak about the name like that. Okay, wait. I always manage to get back to Ethan's games. Let's just keep to. Let's go and see what the 10th seed is up to. Floppy the dog. Also a very strong player, 2200. Now, Michael James had a great... Burton van Staden is so ahead of me. I didn't even click on Floppy yet, and he was commenting who the guy was. Thanks. Okay, so this is Paul Gluckman. And also the player that I've watched on the channel. You get some of his games on the channel. So analyze some of the classical games. When a player plays some interesting games, I like to analyze it. Manya Nani playing for second place. Yeah, I'm watching that. They're taking Cape Town's A team for the run over there, and Floppy the Dog seems to be the player representing Cape Town A. And definitely they're playing for second. Steinitz is dominating. They've got a good tournament so far. But I haven't. Sorry, I just wanted to finish my point on Michael James. He had this fantastic tournament at the end of 2019, where he was actually the player to beat, taking down. He was a 1900 for the tournament, but definitely back to 2000s after. I think one of the only players to take him down was Watu, and he took down Kenny and Barish, as far as I'm concerned. He had some fantastic games, playing interesting lines. In any case, this is a game from Paul Gluckman. And as black, I'd like to play f5 here and get this bishop some room, even on g7, and then start progressing like this. He doesn't want the bishop traded off yet, so first a queen move. Now f6 was possible. Okay, so Floppy the Dog has got an endgame in mind, where, well, he's got this 3-2 majority. And Sasha playing for UCT's A team. Steinitz is doing great. The A team, but They need to show that they've got a B team as well. That's my only request for the next tournament. That they great all over. Maybe they're just more nationalist than some of the other clubs are. Got more pride for their club. They play better chess when they're playing for their club than for themselves. But they've really been showing some spectacular chess tonight. The game of the night still by far Craig Willenberg's game against Mohammed. In any case, this might be an instructive endgame. That I like seeing when stronger players convert into an endgame in Blitz, especially, not just classical. Sasha's Abramovitz, I think. Okay, I think I've got it. Sasha Abramovitz. Either a UCT alt student or just a part of the club. In any case, when a player converts into an endgame this is a backwards pawn, and they've only got a knight for a bishop, and we all know the bishop is better than the knight in the endgame. I like to see the type of structural things they decided to put above some of the other things. So, for instance, I was thinking that maybe the king being a bit closer to the center might be one of the reasons he decided to go for this, or maybe he decided that he can close down the center even more. And and then make more of this knight than it is currently. So he might be opting for a5 and knight b5, things like this. And realizing that this knight has got some potential. And if it's traded off, he's also got some kind of idea. To maybe change the pawn structure back into something where he can give white a weakness. So And a lot of the times, as I was saying, this is type of interesting choices that I like. It was a very concrete choice. You're deciding to get rid of the queens and go for a position like this. So getting to know what are the gut feelings of some of these players when they make choices, because that's what it is in Blitz. It's not a long calculative choice. It's just simply their gut feelings. Okay. On that note, I'm really waiting for this a5 move and just pinning this knight out on b4. That would be my gut feeling, that the knight is great in the center, but you really want to get the rooks to be even more active. And potentially this c5 pawn is white's weakness. So if you can get a way to stop defense of the c5 pawn, you can just go and attack the pawn straight away. Okay, so while that is not being played, we need to try and see what is Paul Gluckman's plan. He's brought this knight around now, potentially back to the square. He's not playing. Yeah, this is what he was planning. Be careful, don't go e5 immediately. He's playing some time burners, it feels. Oh, okay. That's the trickiness of a knight and why people choose knights in Blitz. Look at where this knight is going. It's going to e3, and this is the point. This pawn is very weak. Okay. So this was super confusing, and trying to calculate where that knight's going in Blitz is not that easy. You really need to spot the square that would be the best for it as soon as possible, and then not calculate where it's going, just know that it's going to that square. Then you can maybe see the route your opponent is taking, but in Blitz, it's going to eat so much of your time trying to figure out where that knight's jumping to. And that knight's done a great job now, finally picking up the c5 pawn. Where did it even start? It started somewhere where it was able to go to this square. That's all I remember, because I wanted to play a5. But further than that, oh, now the knight has done one final beautiful thing. It just clamped down on this rook. And even if there's a trade, be careful, this rook is trapped for life. Trying to make it let it happen. How you? Oh, this is king c5. But now the king needs to stay close to the rook, right? The rook has got no escaping. I would have just walked up with my king and taken the pawn. Maybe his point is that he's so sadistic. He's going after the rook with his king. I would have thought, okay, he's just gonna go take the pawns and claim that white isn't making any progress. But he's literally just fulfilling the role his rook did of defending the pawn, and now freed up the rook to kick away the king and go after the rook. That was so sadistic. Well, either option would have been quite sadistic. Going after all of these pawns with your king and then running all of them through would have also been something like pretty painful to do. Mandorza, there we have it now. The player I helped warm up. See, you guys need to play against me before you guys go into this tournament. If I'm streaming, remember to play a game against me, as Mandorza did. I showed him who was boss, and then he decided, no, he can't be playing on my level for this tournament. He needs to up his game. So he's been improving, and he's got this first place here, and playing with fire again, as I saw the image just now. Pushing that rating. He started the tournament on a lower rating, and this position feels like the e-pawn and the d-pawn traded, and I'm not sure from which opening. Maybe just simply a d5 early on. This knight's also gone. Okay. Oh, there are some kind of chess puzzles. By the way, I'm trying to figure out what opening's being played here, and that reminds me. Oh, very nice move here. Oh, very sharp. Bishop takes, knight check, king moves, queen takes, knight takes queen. But this doesn't lose a piece. Fancy way of trading. Fancy way of trading. And gets the better pawn structure after it. Very, very cool. Mandorza is Michael James playing some very cool chess yet again. Oh, saying I want to have opposite side colors bishops. That reminds me. Oh, the chess puzzle I was thinking of. They call it. Okay, so black just offered a draw. White declined it. So Michael's feeling comfortable with a bit of a spatial advantage there in the center, and Opposite side color's bishop. He's got nothing to lose here. He's going to get an active file there, and so it's called detective puzzles. And pretty much in these detective puzzles, you get a position, and there's only one series of moves from the beginning to the end of the game that position was possible to arrive in. And you guys would be surprised what insane things you can come up with, the conclusions you can draw. For instance, if you see a queen on a1 but no h7 pawn, then somehow you need to make the conclusion that throughout the game this pawn managed to capture in a way that it was able to make a route all the way to a1. Okay, but that wouldn't be possible, right? So okay, so it wouldn't be the a1 pawn then that did that, right? So the puzzle will probably be where there's a queen on a1 or something like that. And Tapelo's Matswang. Tapelo 101, this guy's given me grief before. This guy knows his business. Michael James has been making progress, just running this king and pawns up. Oopsie. Oh no. Just blundered a pawn there. Oh, he's going to take a moment just to catch his breath, because there's no progress to be made anymore. You can't push the g pawn anymore, you can't push the f pawn anymore. And suddenly black is going to try and find a way to push in this game. In any case, but finding the move, finding the opening that suited the position feels a bit like that detective puzzle. So, in any case, he's going to run his king up. I thought this would happen, but white has got nothing anymore. This bishop and these pawns, they've locked down the position. You'd needed this h pawn, and a well-timed g4 break. Probably after the rook was on g6, going g4. White offers draw, black offers draw, white declines draw. Oh, that was earlier on in the game, remember? When they transitioned into this opposite side color's bishop's endgame. But now this time white offered the draw, and the draw was accepted. For a moment, it looked like the Tapelo wouldn't accept the draw, but in the end he did. Decided that, okay, he'll come back to the tournament and try and get some more games in. So, still Michael James owning this tournament. Leah Pulami, running up there from Cape Town's club. I haven't seen this player at all. Leah Paul Amy, is that the name? And this looks interesting. The move f5 had to be played in some time, and it had been. Oh, this is super aggressive from black, saying I don't mind my open king. I'm gonna try. Well, what side is black going to castle to? That's the tricky question. White's saying, you sure you want to go queenside? Just going to line up this bishop and queen for in case you do. By the way, queen takes and castling queenside with the idea of trapping the bishop. Don't do that, because now suddenly queen checkmate. So, that's why it's possible to go queen takes, and no queenside castle is on the board anymore. Instead, Leah Paul Amy has just gone queenside. Him or herself. There's a male name and female name, and a female name in the name, so I'm not sure. Oh, David Gluckman. Okay, I've managed to. I don't know if they're father or son. I know they're kind of like the Willenberg family. They've also got loads of Gluckmans playing chess. In any case, this player is solid. We're running up here now. Hour and a half of the tournament done. They've warmed up and ready to start destroying. And this is aggressive, I must say. Going queenside yourself after your opponent was trying to set it up, saying no, you're not going queenside. I'm going queenside. It's a pretty aggressive approach. Okay, now I'm expecting knight c5 with the idea of bishop takes, and the bishop is so good on that square. Making something like rook c7 possible. Okay, so David Gluckman, wait, is that confirmation? Is he Paul Gluckman's son? Oh, father? I think he is. I did a game on him as well recently. Where he played against... this Jock Opov. That's the player he played against. It wasn't a really old game, but I'm trying to go through some spectacular games that have been played in the country, and as you can guess, there are only so many games that have been written up, and going through the database has been um, like going through a history book of things that nobody has written too much about. Okay, so he's the father. Okay, great. Well, the son was doing better just now, so we have two father and son races here. We've got the Bawudians and we've got the Gluckmans trying to see. Ooh, isn't that a blunder? Oh no! So G5 was an unfortunate blunder. Maybe he thought the bishop was defending, or the queen, or something. In any case, a Lion King getting maybe an easy victory there, because that bishop on c5 was doing a great job at undermining the position. And Paradox 1982 trying to get in with the A club of the Steinitz players, the elite players, taking down the house over there. 163. Are they going to make it to 200? Who knows? Blackjack's A, UCT A, and Cape Town Chess Club 104, 103, 102. And I have no idea who's going to take second, third, or fourth place even. This is so close. And let's not discount Man Yanani. They've got, in my opinion, stronger players. Well, in the start of the tournament, they were definitely stronger than the clubs that are giving them grief now. So this is very fascinating what's happening. So on that note, it feels a bit funny to keep on watching the top player, as this isn't really an individual tournament. So seeing some of these players fall out for the time being. Chess Buddy 98. Isn't Chess Buddy 98 Andrew McInnes? Or this is another UCT player, right? The guy's name always jumps my mind. Okay, so Ethan Samuel's not in first place anymore, by the way. He's been overtaken there by Michael James, and actually I want to watch another one of the Doctor's games, so... What? Kenny Willenberg? I guess it's Roland on the account at the moment. David Gluckman is Paul's dad. Okay, thanks. Okay, so that'll be an interesting contest. Let's see which father-son duo does the best in combined score, and also which son beats which father, and other way around. I don't know if you guys, maybe in the comments section, say if you guys are rooting for the fathers or for the sons, and we'll quickly see in the end who managed to win the tournament. We'll combine the two father scores and the two son scores in the end. So, to see who did the best between the Bawudian and the Gluckman family. In any case, we're looking at another doctor over here, not a Bawudian, but a Mr. Bua, a chess master, and he's playing against Bakhat. And they've got opposite side castles in, and this position looks pretty sharp to my mind. Definitely black is the one that's throwing that there aren't any more pawn breaks left, and if you want to go for this pawn break, well, give me the file first, give me the pawn, and give me all these squares for my knights. So you need this pawn around, and not a good idea to take this pawn as well. You need to really just wait this out as white. Remember, when a pawn moves, there's a hole. I was thinking white could maybe consider running the king, nothing out. Okay, so I'll start it off. I'm gonna root for the fathers. Okay, just to cast my vote over there. 24 minutes to go. Okay, A3 now, and well, black is on the verge of breaking through here. Definitely on the verge. It's not going to last long for white anymore. I was thinking queen c4, but he's found a mating idea, actually. The knight is not possible to take because of queen c4 check, and the king is boxed in. The only way to defend is queen c2, and simply queen takes c2 would be checkmate. So not much to do over there. Need to throw in the Tal Bakhat. Now your name has been inversed. Okay, Steinitz A bringing 5 players now they've got the top 5 players. This is real dominance. And I think it might feel good when you see your teammates doing well. You feel like you're doing well as well. So, Terminator, let's see how this player is getting along. And oh, I've ended up on another one of Muhammad's games. It's just interesting to see how the top seed is struggling so much in this tournament. Chessmaster Terminator 2018 is also playing for Steinitz' A section and joined the elites of his club. He also wants a podium place and well, I'm coming for it. Okay, how because it seems like you've committed on the king side, so it feels like you're ready to play something like g5. And now you waited too long. I think the previous move, bishop e2, was preparing queen c8, sorry, bishop d7. And they're trying to bring the bishop into the game to the h3 square. Okay, so the Terminator 2018 is also a Pole, Kupoatia. And it's like he started to play aggressively and now lost his momentum. Getting hit, going to win the exchange, but if I know Muhammad correctly, he's not going to take the piece. This is not. Oh, I don't know him correctly. I thought he's just going to make the point and say, you know what, this knight is on such a fantastic spot. If you want to take, you're allowing this pawn in here as well, and I've just clamped down on your position. I'll bring my rook in like this, etc., etc., and game over. Whoa. Black's trying to take the offensive now, so both sides are just going to play for the g-file as well, but one important difference is that white can continue playing for the g-file, while black has already expended all these resources on the g-file with this one rook. You can't recapture, so I'm thinking if c5, we're going to see bishop takes e3, and a nice outpost for the knight over here, so c5 is not going to be played. And let's see if I do have the commentator's curse, because then it will be played. Maybe bishop d4 instead. Planning e5 and play along this beautiful diagonal for white. Saying to black that, okay, you might just need to move this bishop back. And, oh. Well, thinking outside of the box over here. Went h4 instead. $20 to go. This is actually an interesting game. If Muhammad wins, then he's really going to help Manyanani Chess Club get into one of the podium places. While there's no pressure on the Terminator to do anything really. His club has already done really well. And because the pressure is lifted, it could make him play better chess. By the way, here comes the idea of earlier. Okay, I'm going to stop suggesting ideas and just see what he does come up with. His idea is way more aggressive. Queen g8 checkmate is the idea, and how to defend it. Can't move your king, can't block with a bishop. You can block with a knight, but you're giving away a knight. So black just decides that's it. And what does this do to the tournament standings? Steinitz A 187. UCT and Cape Town now, 113, 116. Blackjacks A and Manyanani Chess Club on 105. They're fighting also neck on neck, but any one of these clubs, 2 to 5, they are in it for second place. As you see there, Cape Town just overtaking UCTA. So pretty serious things happening over there. And Michael James dominating in this tournament. He's playing really well. 44, making a big lead there between himself and Ethan Samuel. I think that calls for another one of his games to be watched. And I'm trying to see where someone, I think we commented who Sasha is. Oh, here we go. Sasha Abramovitz from UCT, and Michael James playing great chess. And now this is quite close to the Greek gift. You really want to, really just want one piece to play with tempo on this square. I think he knows this, so he's not just attacking here immediately with Queen H5. He's just using the time, saying, it's going to take a while to get over to this side of the board. I'm going to get a rover. I'm going to get a Queen H5. And this seems really good for him. Bishop C3. Now this diagonal getting played back to it seems like it's just going to happen so slowly. Be careful with this bishop now. You don't want to go bishop takes f4. You'll walk into bishop takes h7 and whoa, your rook is undefended. Instead, I like this so much. I love this. Oh, wait a minute. G6, right? And now there's loads of space around the black king. And you'd expect Queen H6, right? 6 and the position seems equal after bishop F8. Nope, that's not the idea. Queen H6 is not the idea. Queen E5 maybe? Or, you see, this is why Queen H6 is avoided. Doesn't want to walk into the tempo. But he's made the hole in the position he wanted. So, Queen F6 is now an idea. And there's not just the mate threat on G7 anymore. The mate threat is on H8. Not G8. Not sure how you're getting in onto these dark squares. Queen F6, isn't this game over? Queen F6 was game over. Well, Queen F6, maybe the problem was E5. And then you're only winning a piece. So, Michael's saying, okay, well, there's 16 minutes left. No berserking. I need to win over the board as quickly as possible. What is the most I can make here? A piece is great, right? But mate, using a rover is the best. So queen. Oh, and that's exactly the point he's making. He could go rook h3 immediately and pick up the queen, because that seems like the only reasonable defense. You still have h5. Sorry, to be honest. But bishop takes g6 and the queen sack is really necessary after a while. In any case, f5 saying, I'm getting this checkmate within the time of your clock running down. And your clock is either going to run down in a minute, or I'm going to mate you before your clock runs down. And that's the fastest way to win the game. B, because h takes... Okay, this is... Black's holding on by a thread. This is so sadistic. The rook is pinned. Now queen f6 is even possible. Queen f6. I want to see queen f6. Please play queen f6. Oh my word. Oh. Okay, satisfaction. Queen f6 is played. The rook is pinned while the bishop is hanging. You can't take the bishop. There's still a mate on h8. The rook is now covering this f square. And now, ooh, all of these moves hurt so much. Bishop takes e6. And, oh my word, I'm taking two, but obviously mate in one. Okay, well done. Michael James playing some stunning chess tonight. The beautiful, beautiful attacks. Checkers. He's playing accumulator. The doctor playing well as well. Dr. Baudian. And here we have a good matchup. This is fun. Playing for Steinitz A, playing against one of the Steinitz A fathers over here. We have a position that's definitely, well, I must say I'm actually really surprised. Baudian's Bua's style is very aggressive. For instance, this position, you're getting slaughtered here, Kenny. This is not nice. You can't take that knight because of mate on g7. You need to move your queen because it's being attacked. And now this check. You need to go queen takes. And if the doctor really wants to, you can just trade off, be a pawn up. Claim it's a great position, but he's going to go for more. Kenny was clever there, maybe. There wasn't any forks because of queen takes. So the doctor's going for this. I was thinking maybe kick the queen away, but he went for precisely the position I was complimenting. So it seems like the most forcing line. You're going to keep this rook at bay forever. You're up 2 pawns. Look at this great bishop on the diagonal. Second bishop on the diagonal. The king has actually got back rank threats all the time. This knight is not coming back without the king making a move, because this pawn is also stuck. So we might even see g4, saying, well, where's that knight going? Okay, g4 is not on the board. Kenny's trying to get his knight via g8 back into the game. So where and how are the knockout blows going to be coming from? Knight g8 now, as expected. The king needed to move, though. Not something you want to do. Bishop h4. No, keep the bishop on the diagonal. Don't go rook b4. It's bad on a few levels. No, Kenny having a hard time over here. And Monster 1979, isn't he in the tournament as well? I'm seeing him spectate. I don't always know how players do that. Unless, I think you keep spectating a player on a different tab. Then maybe it's possible. Okay. Oh, this is just such a yummy position for the doctor. Are we going to play g-takes and just run this pawn through? Make a pathway for... Okay. He's trying to activate his pieces, but he's down 2 pawns, and these are 2 heavy pawns. They're completing white's pawn structure and gonna make for useful passed pawns. Wait a minute, wasn't there... There might have been a tactic, check, king takes, rook takes, but then this check, and white is suddenly playing against 2 pieces, although he should still be winning. The doctor doesn't want any of this and says, let's just recapture the pawn, play it safe, and the tactic will be on the board soon. So Kenny moves his king to a light square where the bishop can no longer attack it. Kenny trying to go for a pawn at least. Don't go for the pawn, your bishop's hanging. And expecting some way to set up a mate. Mating net or something with a rook coming to g8. Oh no, I'm done in 10 minutes. Sorry. Really? Okay, Kenny's still down 2 pawns, and they've managed to trade off the b pawns at least for each other. Going into an endgame, I do not like the doctor's chances too much anymore. Be careful now, there's only... Well, okay. With only the minors on the board, which is what he wants, sacrifice can happen any day, and... Well, 1 bishop versus 2 bishops, I'm not too scared of you, right? So... What's the issue though? Is Kenny considering playing bishop takes? Rook here or something? What's wrong with takes? Oh, bishop takes check? No, that's not an idea. Okay, this is what I was scared of that he might be looking at. Knight takes? He wants to keep rooks on the board. Wait a minute, but that's the minors on instead would have made sense. The rook can do a great job of helping these pawns through. So not something I would have been looking to do. And Kenny slight lapse. Steinitz A, Dr. Linden Boer with an extra 4 points, sending their team sky high with 207. Cape Town Chess Club on 130. Distance between themselves and UCTA and Manyanani Chess Club and Blackjacks A. And Muhammad Bawudian trying to break down this elite club over here of Steinitz A players. The Terminator is the first one to move out of the club. And he's saying let's get more of them out of there. But 209, Stein is a very comfortable over there. We have looked at most of their players. Let's see if there are any other funny names jumping up into this top 10 in the last minutes. The big challenge is here between number 3 and 4 now suddenly. 3, 4 and 5 as Cape Town starts moving away. I think we've got time for one more game, and then I think we should just be watching the tournament standings for the end. As it becomes more tense between those places. And this seems like a good game. We haven't watched any of Transcendent Wisdom's games. What a cool chess name, right? And Transcendent Wisdom. Whoa! What's that about? That's great. That's fantastic. Oh, wait. No, this loses a piece though. Right? White wins a piece. Yeah, not a piece, sorry, I mean the exchange. That was quite cool. I was thinking, okay, white's going for this pawn, but black found this tactic. Defending the pawn. If the trade, then the knights just come off. So, white going a bit deeper, saying, it's not just the pawn, I'm if you defend like that, I'm getting more. I'm getting an exchange, and that is what he got. Still a great outpost for the knight here, and still a weak pawn there on d6. 6.5 minutes to go, and the game seems like it will be over before then. Wow. Knight sack on e5 to push that pawn through. Transcendent Wisdom is playing some transcendent chess. Pretty out of this world. Duncan Gender. Thank you, Burton. Next tournament, I'm going to have a printed out list next to me with all the players' names. And making a queen now. Not necessary even. Be careful. Oh, be very careful. Both sides actually needed to be quite tactically aware, and Mark Lewis, ML1808. So we have Duncan Ngenda versus Mark Lewis in this game. And, well, this was a great idea by white, but unfortunately, knight d8 seems like a great defense, just blocking the pawn. And now white's down a clear piece. Black is reactivating some pieces. So I'd be keen as black just to get the king around about here. Not waste too much time going about it. Okay. White is maybe clever here. You need to try and make another threat, but black just simply keeps his rook here for now. You're not pushing these pawns through. And if black brings his king in, oh, this pawn is maybe an issue. Okay. So this is a better idea. Let's trade down some of white's remaining pieces. Oh, wait, I've Transcendent Wisdom was up an exchange before he gave away the rook like that. Or the minor piece or something. Because I joined the game later, so the material imbalance is a bit confusing at the moment. Not sure how they got to it. In any case, there is a material imbalance, but not a disadvantage for either of the sides. They're completely equal. 2 knights and a rook and pawn for white. I don't like... Oh, this is just such a tricky position for both sides. This knight did not have to move, allowing rook d6. Oh no. And these pawns are going to get chopped away at. d6 check. g7. Even this pawn is coming down. You can maybe just start with rook takes h6. Oh no, going into that. And now this is mate, right? This should be a mate roundabout here. Roundabout this corner. If you turn left and right and left again, there's a mate. Okay, not going for that. Rook h6, here's the mate, guys. Rook check, king here, check down here, king up, check again. King needs to go back, and then rook g8 checkmate. Okay, we're gonna, oh, we nearly saw it. Rook h8. That would have been my line. And this is the last game of the tournament. I'm going to be watching intensely like this. And it's going to be over soon, because this is still quite a cool mating threat. And there's not much to do. He needs to start giving away material, as you can see. And Transcendent Wisdom, throwing the Transcendence over here. And as this is the last game, Duncan Ngenda versus Mark Lewis, I'm just quickly going to show that line I was looking at, and then we're going to watch those last 2 minutes of the team pairings run out. This is checkmate. Okay, so this was the turn left and turn right again line I was looking at. And in actual fact, Rook H7 was a bit stronger than what I had in mind. I was thinking Rook H8, King E7, check here, and okay, obviously he's got Knight F7 saving him, but if this is what I was looking at. In any case, both lines equally fine. One just comes with forcing checks the whole time, and that's what I like to do in a checkmate variation. Okay, 2 minutes to go though. Michael James has gone down in the last 2 games against the names here somewhere. Paul Gluckman, and then Dr. Shabir Bawuddin taking down Michael James. Well done, guys. Been dominant this tournament, and let's just look at these tournament rankings for the last seconds. As we see, second place is also kind of cleared up. Cape Town Chess Club A will be taking the second place, but there's still maybe a lot to be said for these last 3, the third place, with UCTA Manyanani Chess Club and Blackjacks A, all very close to one another. And be careful when you're in one of these teams not to take draws against the teams that are higher up than you are. The draw tactic only works if they are lower than you are. You're getting more points then for your team in general. So 50 seconds to go. There going to be any action here, Blackjacks? Are they going to be able to catch Manyanani? Or is UCTA going to be caught by that same team? Kraaifontein and Belleville also may be quite close there. If I'm looking at a 7-point margin, this might be the end. And as you can see, a Paradox 1982 on the featured board, and Michael James, are they playing the last few moves of the tournament as it's drawing to an end? And the result seems to become decisive here. 123, 128. Anything can still happen. 9 seconds, no draw offers. 6 seconds. 9 seconds, no draw offers. 6 seconds. Not seeing any results coming in, and I think this is going to be the last and final standings of the tournament. Wow. And it was so. Well done, everyone. Well done, Steinitz A. Such a dominant performance. About double the score almost of 5th place. And well done, Steinitz A. And well done, Cape Town Chess, for extending that lead there close to the end. We thought it was going to be everyone close to 2 to 5th place. They were so close to each other, and Cape Town Chess Club just started running away. UCTA Manyanani Chess Club also, like, I was expecting them to do better with such strong players in the house. Blackjacks A with Mr. Blackjack Reloaded helping them out there. I'm not sure too much about the club and why he's not in Steinitz A. In any case, well done to all the teams that played, Belleville as well, and Kraaifontein. And here are the top 10: Mandota, Accumulator, Exwichensug, Ethan Sam, Floppy the Dog, Muzer, Transcendent Wisdom, Leah, Paul, Amy, Terminator, and Tapelo. In any case, just for that last little sum I was doing, I just want to see who did better between the parents and the sons, and then I'm done for tonight. And by the way, Angela, I might stream tomorrow when I do play, but I think I'm here for the Corona Chess War team battle. In any case, we have Muzer here that seems to be the top representative of the sons, and Leopold Amy. I'm just trying to see. Oh, you know what? This is going to take two. David Gluckman, the other father. So a son and then a father, and that's 32 for the sons and 29 for the fathers. And I'm expecting to see them on this page, the other players. Oh no, they're pretty down. Dr. Shabir 22. So that's 32, 29, 31, 51 for the fathers, 32 for the sons so far, and that just depends. Where is Paul Gluckman? Paul Gluckman. Thank you, Mr. Spectator. I'm not finding Paul Gluckman's account. Well done to everyone that participated, yes, by the way. Floppy the dog is Paul Gluckman. And where's Floppy the dog? That is going to determine my last calculation of the night. Floppy the dog. Oh my word, the sons did way better. I missed him. He's right above Muzer. So the fathers are going to have to go work on their chess, and I'm going to have to go work on that on that prediction of mine. Thanks everyone for watching, and this was a fun stream. I'm really hoping there will be more competition for Stein SA next time. It's not like the players that played weren't strong enough.